This is an overview of EDU 220 Children's Literature for Educators. This is the 5-week version of the course. So who am I? I am who am I? Reading past and present. So this is my favorite book when I was a kid, Just for You by Mercer Mayer. I used to love all of his books, and I used to also love the videos that came with the books. Each book had a little video, and I loved them. Right now, I love these Thursday Murder Club. I like this series a lot. Looking forward to the 5th book that's coming out. Um, I also like the author Ruth Ware. She is a British mystery writer. This is my dad and my daughter. So when I was a kid, I always used to read with my dad. He always used to read with me before bed. And I still love reading in bed before I go to sleep every night. Even if it's just a couple pages, I think it's worth it. And then I have my daughter and my 2 dogs. So this is my daughter. She loves to read to our dogs. So that's something that I just really love watching her read. And obviously you can see the dogs, they don't really care as long as she's not, grabbing them or anything. So just what can you expect in this course? Um, so just as a quick course description, you're going to have access to all of these slides so you can look through in more detail, but just very quickly, basically we're learning about just books for children from pre-K through high school, and we're learning about how to identify, select, and evaluate high quality children's literature. And what does that phrase, high quality children's literature, what does that actually mean? Required materials, the course doesn't have any required textbooks, but everything is included from videos, articles, and links to support the learning objectives. These are the professional dispositions and late policy. You can click the document in the presentation to see that yourself. Just quick announcements. This was in another video, but I will say it again. So basically, you're responsible for reading the announcements each week and communicating with me via email and checking your email. This is something that's very important, especially in an online program. You are expected to proofread your work for grammar and spelling, as well as use APA citations and a reference list. I have links here, and in my other video, I also mentioned this as well, and there's links provided in other areas of these slides to support you and visuals for citations as well. Discussions are due every Wednesday at 11:59. You have to reply to 2 peers due by Sunday at 11:59. Automatic 0 if you do not participate in discussions. And then there are no extensions on discussions because discussions are as if you were in real time. So for example, let's say you are posting in a discussion 2 weeks later. It's kind of like walking into a room where they've already had the discussion. So the room is empty. So it's kind of as if you were in person. Think of it like that. So discussions have to be done in that week. Assignments are due every Sunday at 11:59. Make sure you triple check your work before handing it in. Read all instructions carefully and check the grading rubrics. I recommend that for discussions and assignments, you look at the grading rubrics, check your work off of the grading rubric, and grade it yourself. If it matches the grading rubric, then hand it in. If it doesn't, you can tweak it. These are the module topics. So again, this is a 5-week version of what is a 10-week course. So it is a lot to do in 5 weeks. So really, you have to be on top of everything. Because it's very difficult to give extensions in this course since it's only a 5-week course. Things go by very, very quickly. And if you get behind, it'll really start to pile up. So in order to help you, I have there's a lot of books that are necessary for this course, and I have a few, and all of them should fall within the last 10 years publication requirement. So that means you shouldn't have books published. All your books should be published within the last 10 years that you use for this course. I have these links here in this presentation to help you to find different books. that will be suitable for this course for the assignments. So looking ahead, none of the books can be repeated. So that's another reason why this list of books is really useful. And again, you have access to this presentation, so you can click the links. These are the books that you need. So you're going to need 6 books in Module 1, 2 for windows, 2 for mirrors, 2 for sliding glass doors. You're going to need in Module 2, you're going to need a book about Indigenous people, fiction or nonfiction, and a book published in the last 10 years for your book talk assignment. And then you're going to actually have to go to the library and take a library selfie proving that you were there, and then find one interesting, and then describe one interesting book you found. Module 3, you'll need a children's book for a lesson plan. Module 4, you'll need a mentor text for a chosen genre. And then in Module 5, you're creating your final project, which is a digital children's library with 3 recordings of books you are reading aloud. So essentially, I highly recommend that in week 1, you just head straight to the library and get all the books that you need. That's why I provide this handy list that will support you. Talk to the children's librarian, explain the assignments, tell her what you need, and just get all the books that you need from the start, and that'll help you to not get behind in this course. And maybe even get more than what you need, just so that you have extra books to choose from, because none of the books can be repeated. So finally, the final project, you are creating a digital library. So I have some examples here in this presentation. You can click on and make a copy if you'd like. You can create your own, but you have to make sure that you are visible in you are visible in the videos, and you are also creating a chart. So here's an example. This is a bilingual one. Here's an example. She used a Bitmoji, and she has different books that she created. And then if you click on the link, you can see the books. I recommend just using YouTube. You could also use Panopto. You can use Zoom. There's tons of different options. So the only difference is in this one, she just shows the book, but you have to actually be in the recording. So in here you can see he is in the recording. So you want to make sure that you are in the recording and it's not just the book. So this is a kind of basic one. It's best if you really show your personality in your library. But you need to be visible in the video. Make sure that the links are accessible, that I have the access to view. And then this is just a recommendation, but this is something that you could potentially use in your future classroom. So you want to wear professional clothing and be in a neutral space when you are recording your videos. And remember, none of the books in any of these projects can be repeated, so they shouldn't be repeated from earlier modules. Finally, you're completing a chart. So you're going to make a copy of this, and you're going to complete this chart for each of the books in your virtual library. So that is all about EDU 220, the 5-week version. Again, it's very easy to get behind in this course. So I recommend in the very first week, you go ahead, you take a look at this list of books and what you're going to need. You head to the library and you talk to the children's librarian, get everything that you need from the start and even more. And then you go ahead and get started on the assignments in order to not get behind.